also. So what are the raw materials we have? Because nowadays everybody is thinking that all the papers are made from the trees. No, we are not. All the papers are not making from the trees. We are having other raw materials also. So the first raw material in India for preparation of paper is cotton. Cotton was the raw material because cotton fibers were very strong, very strengthy. So they used cotton paper. And cotton fiber, even now we are using the cotton fiber based paper, but it's a very rare. So because our currencies are made with the cotton rags and cotton paper, cotton, because it has less impurities, because rich in cellulose fiber and less impurities. The impurities are called, because of the impurities, it will destroy very fastly. So that is why less impurities are there. The second quality, we can say, the hemp, jute, and mulberry. So these are the bark from the plant bark they have separated. Just like in Tamil, we can say there is a pulichakiranaru, kathalanar, like that. So the hemp, jute, mulberry, these were the fibers taken from the plant. And this was used for this. So now most of the bond paper and all these things are taken from this type of, using this type of group. This is the second group. It has some less impurities. That is 25% only. And the third is rice straw, bamboo, sugar cane, and this type of thing. This is called a grass group. This is the third group. What we are using as a regular usage, what we are using the third type of group only. That is also these things. And the fourth group is the wood pulp group. Wood pulp groups, we are having a lot more impurities. There is a 45% only cellulose fiber, cellulose, and 55 raw material, other impurities. So it will destroy very fastly. So for temporary usage only, we are using the wood pulp. What are the temporary? So dailies, weeklies, monthly newspapers, like that thing only, we are using the wood pulp. So there is a wood pulp has more impurities. So we are not using. These are the thing. So these are the raw material used for our paper. So when we have selected a paper, a good book, we can preserve it for longer. Even you can see there is a book printed 1850 are in good condition. Even 1900, before 1900 also very good condition. But a book printed from between 1920 to 1940 was very destroyed, because that is a period we want more bleaching, more chemicals we have used. This then technique of paper preparation, handmade paper and machine-made paper. Handmade paper, everything in paper. There is no chemical. Let's go beating and separation of the fibers and then cooking, everything in handmade basis. So that is in Japanese. The Japanese country in India, in the world, they are preparing a very good handmade paper. And this is a model paper industry. So it's a chemical used to cooking, beating, separating, and all these things, and even some bleaching also here. And this is a modern paper thing. And even in ancient days, preparation of the paper from the paper industry, we will check the paper, whether it is a quality paper or not. We will have a tearing, how much strength needed for tearing, how much strength for bursting, what is the acidity, all these tests were there. So when we are getting a quality paper, then we will use for things. So the paper based on the raw material and also the preparation technique, and even the ink also, because in the ancient days, most of the manuscripts were written in two type of ink. One is called Indian ink. Indian ink is nothing but a black ink. The lamp soot of sesame oil or cast oil with the gum acacia plus rainwater. These are the things they have used. And sometimes permanent ink. Some of the records for they need permanent ink, because this ink will penetrate up to the fiber. That is called permanent nature. There is this ink was we can say ferrous sulfate and gum acacia, gallnut juice, ferrous sulfate, gallnut juice, gum acacia, and rainwater. So this is a manuscript. This is an Indian ink they have written in the ancient days. And this is the ink used for writing purpose. Most of the archival documents were written in the diaries, were written in this form only. This is called, in Tamil we call it kadukamai. This is ferrous sulfate and acacia, uh, gum acacia, all these things are there. So these are the ink. Then only printing came. So these are the manuscripts. Mostly some of the manuscripts, even nowadays in India, quite number of manuscripts are preserved in various libraries. And some manuscripts, preserved manuscript libraries are there. In some of the universities also they are keeping the manuscript, all these things. But Buddhistic Jatakas, they want to spread to others in very fastly. So they only search for multi-copies. What is the method of multi-copies? So they have found in 868, not 828, 868 AD, they prepared a block printing. The block printing was prepared simultaneously in the same year in Japan and China. That was the first thing. In 1428 to 1450 only, the movable printing was came. That is, James Gutenberg prepared that type of movable printing press. And 1558 was the first the printing press came to India at Goa. But in the first book was not in Indian language, it was in Hebrew language. But in 1578 only, they printed a book in Tamil language. That's Tamil Tambiran Vanakam. That was in Goa, and simultaneously in Kollam also they have prepared, the printing was prepared the same book in Kollam and Goa also. That is in 1578 in whole India. The first book printed is in 1578 in Tamil language, called Tambiran Vanakam. In 1712 in Tamil Nadu, there is a separate printing press was started by the Danish missionary for spreading of the Hindu Christianity. So they have at Trankuba, they have the first printing press started in 1712. The book came in 1750. So this is the block printing technique. And then the bottom is a paper. The top was a plank. In that plank, they have it's a model only. So they carved that letters. They apply the ink, and in the paper they will press it also. So this is the another block printing. This scroll type, because they have where the papers are thin. So they have printed and joined and make it a scroll form. So these are multiple copies. They have Buddhist Jatakas, they are printed and spread, given to others. So this is a movable printer. The first movable type of printer came. Then it was spread to all over the world. You can see the first book in 1578 in Tamil book, Doctrina Christum. This is a Malabar language. In those days, Tamil was called as Malabar language. So this was a book printed in Trankubar, that is in 1714, the book printed in. All the printing press, because up to 1835, they didn't allow others to print. Only Christianity books only printed whole India. Then others didn't allow. Up to 1835, only Christian books only they printed. In that period only, in Tamil Nadu, there is only with the help of the Governor Ellis, the Tamil Tirukural was printed in 1812. 18 Tirukural and already was printed in 1812. No other literature book was printed before 1835. 1835, there's a Governor General has given little freedom. That is, anybody can print your literature. And before that, you have to give to that collector or somebody to go through it and get permission, because anything is not against the British. So in that way, so in that type of book on the front page you can find this was approved by the British. Duraitanattar Angegarikkappatta Nool, like that in that books we can find it. So after 1835, this is one of the early printed book of Sistine, I think. Sorry, 1596. After 1857, there is a Press Registration Act came. So only the British, they have given, anybody you can print it. You can start a printing press, you can print any book, any type of book. But only one book you have to send to India Office Library. So that is a thing. Because of that only, now we got some of the catalog. There's, I think some Bennett has prepared a catalog in British Library, what are the Tamil books in British Library, and even John Murdoch has published a catalog, books printed, Tamil books printed before 1900. So these two catalog gives the idea what the books printed before 1900. So from 1857 onwards, the people, they have started for printing. So when they are printing, they have started the printing press, they want more paper. So when they want more paper, they have various raw material they have used, and they have they are not quality also, but not the earliest books are not very big, very small size books only. Up to 1900, it's not very thin paper, or the very size is very less. So this is the way they have printed mostly. After 1900 only, and they have scientifically, they have cooked for some chemicals, they have was cooked for preparation for separation of the fibers, and even for some bleaching, they used some chlorine bleaching also there. So the white things are there. So when we are using this type of cloth and chemicals, the residue of the chemicals will affect our book. So it is not long lasting. So there was a survey in 1925. So it's a particular book printed in London, in Delhi, and what was the condition all over India, and they found that the book was in a good condition in only in Ooty Public Library, Nilagiri Public Library, because that climate is very conceived. There is a good climate for that printed books. So because of the scarcity of the papers and the scarcity of the books in those days, all the libraries, even the church libraries, every book has some chain. You can find the chains. Every book has a chain book, and has a chair and table. You should not remove the book out of that rack. So only they will read and they will keep that again, keep the same places. And that was the condition in the ancient days. And only after that, only there was more books were printed, and it was given. Even then, mostly till Ranganathan was introduced to open access system, it was only closed access system. Nobody was allowed to enter the stack room, and there was a proper catalog. There is a printed catalog and other even various type of catalog. The readers will go through and they say give the title only. And that title, the library will give that book. There's a closed access. Only for the improvement of the literature and searching and various books. The books must be read. The readers must read various books to know the various books of his subject. Open access introduced by Dr. S. R. Ranganathan. So this is a book was even in the book print after printing, they were very much strict, because they want to make it very long lasting. So various leather binding and various bindings are there. We will discuss that also. So this wooden cupboards were used in ancient days mostly. The wood was the best for library, because wood will keep the same climate inside it. So wooden cupboard was used in there. And even then, so just even now we have seen all the type of books in our library. You know that you are as a library, you know what are how you are feeling, various problems is there. And because the major problems I am classifying in four format. There's physical factors, biological factors, chemical factors, and human factors. These are the four factors of affecting our library book. So physical factors, I am classifying light, heat, moisture, water, and fire. Even the light is important for the thing. Ranganathan, in the stockroom, Ranganathan mentioned that you have to put that rack east-west only, not north-south. If you put it in north-south, the sunlight will fall directly on the rack. When the sunlight falls directly on the rack, the light is not ordinary light because the various light. You can see that the light has various light, various wavelength. So we can our visible light is only a certain wavelength only our eyes can catch. That is 385 to 725 lambda. This is the big GR. That light only we can see. But the light wavelength is very less wavelength, less than 385 we cannot see, and even for 725 we cannot see. That is ultraviolet is very near to violet is very dangerous. So ultraviolet has a very strong bleaching agent. So if you direct light will be falls directly to your book, the color of the wrapper and other things will be, even letter will be faded. Letter will be faded. So lighting and even light will reacts with on the paper, and they will have some brown colors also. So that's why light we should not, any book, direct light should be, we can avoid it. That's why Ranganathan suggested in the stack room, east-west, arranging in the east-west thing. So the light falls directly from this end to that end. But there will not be no need of much electrical light also. Then heat is also very important. Every book, every paper must have some moisture content. It will be pliable. There is no folding things. If you have more heat, then it will be brittle. It will be brittle. So the light, the direct sunlight also create heat, and the general bulb, some fluorescent, some other bulb also will get. So we have to take care of the heat also. Moisture is more moisture also affected. Moisture is very dangerous to our books and minds. If there is after rainy season, if you are not taking proper care, so the book will absorb the moisture. Any material will absorb the moisture, it will expand. When it will expand, and also it has a congenial climate, that the spores in that atmosphere will grow as a fungus. When the fungus grows on the book, it will absorb the insect. It will give filthy smell. The filthy smell attracts insects. The insect will come to eat the fungus and will lay the eggs. So the eggs hatched, automatically it will be bookworm. So the bookworm, the insect will eat only the fungus. It won't affect our book. But the bookworm penetrate inside and it has a completely damaged inside it. That's why moisture is very important, and we have to take care after rainy season. Most of our problems are only after rainy season, and we have some problems in the summer season. Water, there's water is rain water is there, waterlogged books, and it is also there. And so it is, we can say this is fire and waters are very large damages. So next thing is biological agent. Biological is a fungus. Fungus I have already mentioned. Insect is various type of insects. So there is 5 insects are there, and rodents is there. And these are the things we can go other slides. So this we have seen. It is light, natural, artificial. It will have various lights also, cosmic, gamma, X-rays, UV. This is the UV light and infrared light and the red. That these two things will be, infrared will give the heating effect, UV light will be dangerous for affecting our material. It will most of our books will be color changes because of UV light. And humidity. If we in the room, particularly we have to keep the humidity 45 RH to 60% RH. If it is less than 45, it's a dry climate. If it is more than 65, it is in a wet climate. If it is a wet climate, automatically fungus will come. If it is a dry climate, it will automatically release. That's why even some of the libraries in the winter season, in the summer season, we have to put some water bucket inside it. Even mostly every temple you can see there is a tank is there, because the tank is not for taking water for bath or tanking for puja. It is the tank is to control the macro climate. Even Taj Mahal you can find there is around the building you can find various water ponds are there. So the water spilled also there. So this will give the climatic control, macro climatic control. So there is a library also we can put it in summer if the climate is more than the RH is more less than 40, you can put water bucket in near the windows. So that will equip that this humidity. And water fire, this is a major thing. You know, things I will discuss later. This is the water logged books. If water is logged, but it is again, thing is it is very difficult. If you separate the thing immediately, it's no problem. Otherwise, again you have to put it in water and you have to separate it. Otherwise, the papers will be stuck together. So that is a very problematic. It's a fire is also it's very dangerous for the fire. It's an insect, fungus, jellyfish, bookworm, book lice, cockroach, termites, and rodents. These are the three types of biological factors will affect our material. Generally, silverfish is a monitoring. I can say that is a monitoring insect. It won't affect much, but it will affect only the gelatin coated paper or photographic paper. And bookworm will only affect much. And cockroach, if you have any food stuffs inside in the library stack room or some, if you give the give the books for binding, if you are arrange it in the stack room without proper dryness, then the cockroach will affect it. Termite is common. Termite is, we can say there's two types of termite, the wood termite and the soil termite. The soil termite is always in the soil. Only after the rainy season, the capillary action of that water, it will come out down up that moisture will come out. So the termite also come out. So that's why in the ancient days, all the buildings were built 3 feet higher than the ground level, because the capillary action won't go more than 3 feet. If you are building in your stock room is more than 3 feet higher than the ground level, no termite will be affected. Otherwise, we have some problem. Then some ancient days we have some sucking materials also. We can say banana. Every house we have a banana tree. It is a banana tree is a sucking material for and even asoka trees, some trees for some material, some plantation to suck the more moisture. These are the controlling of the termites. And the rodents you have to control with various protections only. And this is the fungus and the various type of things. And the fungus, various type of fungus is there. There is a yellow color is there, some brown is, some black is color is also there. And this is various color. So the fungus will penetrate inside and it will absorb the juice inside that sizing material, so that the fibers will be separated due to the fungus. And also the fungus will release some juice. It will attach the paper one another. And this is the thing, and some stains also are there. You have to see. And the silverfish, it won't bite. Cockroach is on only the back, only, or if any oily nature, that will be. The book lice is only, it will bite on the binding area, that is the spine only, because spine is, the fungus is there, the spine will be there. Bookworm will penetrate from one side to other, that will completely destroy the thing. Termite, so if you enter one side, but you cannot find whether it's affected or not, but the whole things it will take inside only. So even one day, one day or one cupboard can be affected by the termites, because the termite is a social group. And it's a queen, king, soldier, and worker. The queen is the work of the queen is releasing the eggs only, and the soldiers, they will watch the thing, and the workers will take the food and other things one place to another and destroy it over our lively material. This is the 5 material. that silverfish, and this is a book lice, and the cockroach, and this is a termite. You can see some of the books we are having this type of thing. This is the bookworm damage. It will penetrate from one end to the other end and but it won't go out. Even when it grows as an insect, before going it will lay eggs. So the egg hatch and again that larva is there. So when you find it, if you find it, immediately you have to remove that from the stack and you put it in separately and in a spread form. So because the only thing is the fungus and insects will grow in a particular climate only. If the climate is changed, automatically will dry. So we have some little heats, automatically will dry. So this is also bookworm damage. It's a cockroach. It's a termite damage. It is a map. It is a map, very big map. It is in a folded form, so we can see this area from completely deteriorated. Map cannot irreparable damages. Termite will make irreparable damages. So this is also termite damages. Another type of damage is dust, pollution, and oxidation. That's the dust is we can say the two type of dust. One is the soil dust and industrial dust. Industrial dust will create various acidity. Pollution also makes acidity. Oxidation, you can see there is a most of it is also another thing is called aging. Most of the book, most of the paper turning brown color is because of oxidation. So nowadays, oxidation is a major damage for not only all the cultural property, When the silver is tarnishing because of oxygen, when the iron is rusting because of oxygen, all the things, all the paper is because of oxygen. So this is where is hydrogen sulfide, sulfur dioxide from the vehicles and industrial waste. All these things made these gases with water. When rain, it will become acidity on the paper. Human errors, ignorance, negligence, laziness, rough handling, improper storage. So this is innocent. This is the same thing only. And here we can see there is a water marking also. Dark marking, just coffee or stains. Writing with the ball pen is also ignored. The ball pen ink is more oil. So when we write in the ball pen, it will spread. So covering with acid paper. Acid paper means it's a newspaper or brown paper. If a good book is there, if a book in a good book, there will not be no problem. But if you are covering with a newspaper, from the acidity from the newspaper will affect your cover. Acidity from the brown paper will also affect it. So that is also improper storage. Improper storage means storage is in a proper way, because we should not store a book 1/1, and that will also. So here you can see a book. I have make a cover with this newspaper. The acidity from the newspaper will be packed to paper in brown color, and this whole cover was brittle. But because inside that area is in white, because that was the original color. So the acidity spread to this area and here also. Like that, if you cover with the brown color, the same problem will be. So this is the book is in good condition. But some of the paper you inserted inside, the acidity from this paper will fall here. This is acidity. So we have to take care of the good paper inserting and things. And we should not fold this type of papers. So most of the legal documents, mostly we are folding this. Folding, then opening, folding and opening will affect that stability. So mostly we have to preserve as it is. Even a map also, what are the sizes? Nowadays we have a map storage cupboards are there. We can put it the map as it is. If it is a map is very big size, we can roll it. We can roll it with the 4-inch some plastic pipe, and we can cover the plastic pipe with some paper or cloth, and over it we can roll the map. So we should not fold it. If you fold means that will be make some more problem. So now this is another human errors. If any folded anything, we are placing with cellotape. This is cellotape is nothing but some plastic or polyester tape, polythene tape. A paste is not dried very fastly. So when we put it, the paste will be on either will come to either side. So whatever the adjacent paper will be attached here, and so when we cannot remove it, so we have to use ordinary tissue paper with some gum, or some natural gum only. So these type of things also we have to avoid. We have to avoid this type of thing. So that will damage your binding. So you can see there is a big map. The map is with this type of things. Actually, this is the stains, because in this one side is in a brown paper, bottom also brown paper. The stains from the brown paper came here in various forms. This is a map. This is a map and a newspaper. So these type of map are document we have to try to keep it as it is in a flat basis. And if we make a folder, that is very damaging. Or if it is a very big size, we have to make a 3-inch, at least a 3-inch to 4-inch pipe. You have to roll it, and in between, first on the pipe, we have to put it a handmade paper or some cloths. We have to roll it. Then we can roll these things also. And with the put proper nada, we have to tie it. So when we fold it and we have to unfold it, it is a very problem. So mostly in the National Library, all the manuscripts, all these type of things are put it in the map storage compounds only. So this type.
Sir, you're not audible, sir. Sir, excuse me, you're not audible, sir.
Yes, sir, we can't hear you.
Sir? Please excuse me, audience. I'll contact him.
We are not hearing.
No audience, sir. Understand, sir. No audience. Please replace, sir.
எத்தனை மணிக்கு இப்போ மீட்டிங் முடிக்கணும்? ஏன்னா ஷார்ப் 4 o'clock முடிக்கணும்.
No audible.
there was an issue with chief guest. We are trying to contact him. I request you to please stay in the link.
We are very sorry that due to some technical error, the resource person is not connected with us. We are really very sorry. We are trying to get up with him. Meanwhile, the link is being posted. Kindly fill up the form to receive your certificates. We'll wait for another 5 minutes.
That's great. Thank you, madam.
Okay, anyway, I will give a formal vote of thanks. On behalf of the management, principal, vice principal and staff of Rajapalayam Rajus College, I really thank the resource person, Dr. P. Perumal, a very humble and very knowledgeable person on the entire techniques of preservation of paper, etc., for having accepted this invitation to join us in the webinar. We are really very sorry that due to technical issues, he is not able to continue. The talk was very, very informative right from the beginning, from PMESTs, which is based on the Tirukural, to the basics of how paper is made, which many of us, he gave it in detail, and about the history of books. We are very sorry, sir, that we could not continue this. And I thank all the librarians, the professors, teachers, and students for joining in this program. My special thanks to the great support extended by Mr. A. Ramkumar, the professor of Postgraduate Department of Commerce, Computer Applications, for all the support in preparing the invitation, the Google Forms, and the certificates. Thank you very much, sir. I thank Mr. Somnath for his technical support. And I thank you all. Kindly fill up the Google form and just wait. I will try to connect with the resource person again. Thank you. Yes, ma'am. Akila, ma'am. Kindly excuse us. We will wind up the session since he is not able to accept the call. We don't know what is wrong. Sorry.